give you two ways in which I think we all need to support quality teaching. And I'm very aware that quite often these conferences, we're talking about what somebody else should do all the time. And I really want to emphasise that as far as quality teaching goes, it's what we all do that matters, from classroom teachers to regional directors. Unless Carol and Tom are focused on their pedagogical practice, as much as a classroom teacher in their region is focused on pedagogical practice, things won't change. So everyone, I believe, has to have a very strong focus on pedagogical practice, and not just on what we want teachers to do, what teachers should do, what they should be doing, but it's what we can do to support that. So pedagogical practice has to be something that we are all involved in. It's everyone's business. It's sometimes hard for a principal who has to administer all these funds and do all of the things that we know principals have to do, then to say to them, oh, okay, so what's your pedagogical practice? Whose learning are you responsible for? And what's the practice associated with that? So I think it is that transformation in thinking, and I know that some of you have heard me talk about this before, and it's still, you know, I think it's the heart of the question for us in challenging contexts, is that we can't leave the most important thing that has to happen in our schools, quality teaching, up to the least experienced people in the system, classroom teachers, for a lot of it. And that's not to say that we don't have very experienced teachers in classrooms, but I think you know the point I'm making. We all have to share that burden and that responsibility.
I just want to add just one idea to what Deb said. I agree that this is the responsibility of all people in the system, not just teachers, in terms of quality teaching. But I just want to add an idea that I think good teachers are ones that hold a researcherly disposition. It isn't necessarily that they are researchers, although I take Tom's point about that, but they have a researcherly disposition. In other words, they are able to read the research, they are informed by the research, they can go on from the research and say, what does this mean for me? And we can talk about that in terms of teachers, but I think this can apply to other people throughout the system as well. A researcherly disposition is someone who's thinking about their practice all the time and saying, well, you know, where am I falling short? What can I do better? Where are the places where this needs to go? Just in the same way as you could say to me, a researcher needs a teacherly disposition. A teacher needs a researcherly disposition.